How do we get customer alignment? This is probably the biggest learning, the biggest pain, to the point where you must get on a table and kick a phone if you cannot get to an MVP approach with your partners, your customer, your engineers. And I'm going to share two sad stories. The first one, Sharp. We, at RoboBusiness, years ago, someone saw a talk from me. They came to us from Sharp and said, let's do a security robot. And so we had this partnership. We were excited about it. We have found that the size of the marketing department will inversely affect your success. If you have a bigger marketing department with more people to go out and ask more questions and to bring the voice of the customer, we have found that your chances of success are very, very difficult. So this robot here on the top right, target price was $100,000, and they scoured the world. They even got on Google Earth and went and found all of the secured fence areas, went to those companies, arranged meetings, and found out all the features that they wanted. And the list was massive. And this robot has the ability to sense 18 to 24 different chemicals, like a chlorine spill. It's got an arm that can lift up where competitors have just put a camera on a stick. It's got many, many cameras. I think six cameras, ultrasonic lasers, 3-frequency radio, just so many things. And the price ultimately got up to $300,000. Moved from a 3-year lease to a 5-year lease. And we could not move on those requirements because this is what the customers need. Foxconn came along, the largest electronics manufacturer in the world, bought them, said you're only going to sell 50 to 100. They laid off everybody, shut down Sharp Labs USA, and lots of my good friends are without business. And the potential we had the second largest guard company in the world pleading for these units because they couldn't get labor. But we just lost the MVP battle. The next one, this is cleaning. We're partnered with the world's largest cleaning manufacturer, cleaning equipment. They went out, a great marketing department, found out all the functionality that the world wanted. We had product trials running in Japan, in Paris, in Texas, I believe. And we were struggling with the last 10%, getting 100% reliable on this advanced path planning. So no matter what the width of the rows were, what was on the end cap of, and this was one of the big tests was in the largest mall in Japan, and it couldn't 100% come in advanced ways when you change the end caps to come into these different width rows. And they would not move on it. And I pleaded, but I didn't get up on the table and kick a phone. And so SoftBank funded Brain out of San Diego. They came in and they said, yeah, we can't do what ASI can do. We can't do any planning. We could just do train and repeat. But those very customers who said they wouldn't buy it without the advanced planning want to buy it from us. So our big manufacturer said, yeah, we had a bad cleaning year in sales. We're going to go for the free option, and went and bought it from Brain. So people lost their jobs, 100 plus million opportunity, but because we wouldn't go to that very simple approach and push it out into the market and find out what's truly aligned with the customer interest, millions and millions of dollars were lost. Millions of dollars were wasted as they had funded us multiple years when we could have done train and repeat after the first year. With all of the positioning and solution done, the path planning was what the customer must have, but the customer bought far less. So we've learned from that. And so with one of the largest retailers in the world, we now have an MVP out there that the human does the backing up with the remote control to the trailer. So it's an unknown trailer. We don't know who dropped it off. We just know there is one out there somewhere. A human will back up to that. We don't have GPS tagging on it. And so back up to that, then push, and then Mobius takes over and does the autonomous placement of that trailer. And that allowed us to get going. And so we're in our third trial. By the end of the year, we will have full autonomous move where the LiDARs will find the location of the jack stands, get the orientation of the trailer, back up autonomously. But it allowed us to go a year and a half earlier because we went with an MVP. So how do we get to simple? You got to listen to your customers. This top example for convoys in Iraq, we came up with an approach using a dog leash idea. And so there's a string between these vehicles. As you look at simple to set up, simple to supervise, simple to service, a soldier just grabs a carabiner, can start running with it, it turns on the engine, shifts into gear and starts following it, or hook it to another vehicle and the same thing happens. No training. As long as you have the same steering authority as the vehicle behind you, you can't do anything stupid. It will follow exactly what you do. When you come slow, it comes closer together, you can back it up, you can push that string, and General Dynamics licensed this patent and have put it on their robots in Iraq. And so you can load in trailers, you can put into service depots, very simple. And then with the mining, we're doing the largest deployment in the world, 250 total vehicles in the ecosystem, over 100 of the largest trucks in the world, and you are promoting those truck drivers to be the operators. They've committed to never lay anyone off, and so truck drivers are now running a system with 250 vehicles with an $8 billion per year flow of material. We have to make it simple. We've got to make it easy for people to learn, to be able to get this set up and installed in very remote regions of the world, and then ultimately when something goes wrong and you have two technicians because you're running it from 900 miles away, that is it easy to troubleshoot something with many computers, sensors, GPS, and can ultimately keep that flow of iron ore or gold running. I asked Scott Cook of how did you compete with the Microsofts of the world who were throwing billions coming after you, and yet you kept aligned with the customer and provided the best solution. He said, we literally followed them home. When someone would buy the solution, they would ask them, can we come and watch you set this up? And they would learn, and so they could get to that simple place. And so that's what we've had to do, both in hiring mining people, sending our engineers to mines, to make that as simple as possible. You also need to help the customer with the tools they need for both setup, for training, commissioning, testing. So we took our Mobius solution and provided it to our customers. This top right shows a video of what we're doing in the automotive industry for using our tools of autonomy and testing of our solution. And now these customers can go 60 miles an hour and have vehicles that will do stupid human stuff around their host vehicle and test its safety sensors, its algorithms to make sure that it's safe before they put it on the highway. And so they have 1,000 different tests, and we provide scripts so that they can create these tests that will just run 24 hours a day in having these vehicle interactions repeatable, so as they come out with new releases, they can verify the safety and reliability before they